Hi, it's Dawson Church here from EFT Universe, and today I'd love to share with you about trusting the healing process. I have many videos up on YouTube showing me working with clients on a huge variety of different topics, on money, on fear, on phobias, on relationships, on weight loss, on spirituality, on career and work, all kinds of topics. And energy psychology and EFT work for all of those things. It's amazing no matter what the topic, what the issue a client brings, you use these techniques and they just work. Now, when you watch those videos, they seem amazing. They seem beautiful. They seem powerful because you see a person sit down there with me at the front of the room, usually in front of a big audience, and then they tell me their problem. They describe their problem in graphic detail, and we start tapping. I may use other energy therapy techniques with them besides tapping, and then they have some kind of huge catharsis, some kind of huge shift going on. And at the end, they're telling this story. They're often laughing and joking about the thing that was making them cry at the very beginning of the session. And one of the, this is just a funny little aside here. One of the things my wife tells me I need to share with you. So we go home at night after the workshop. My wife's usually there with me. Often she's watching the workshop or she's having a role in the workshop. And she said to me, Dawson, you need to tell people that that session looked so beautiful and so symmetrical, had a start, a middle, a healing breakthrough, and an end. You need to tell people that you did not know at the beginning that they were going to have that shift. Because I tell her that, I say, I sat down there with this person, they began telling me their story, and I had no idea where to go. I just began tapping with them and doing these techniques, and I had no idea if we'd make any progress. I had no idea if they'd heal. And she says, Dawson, you need to tell people that you didn't know that, because as they watch you, they see the clients make this breakthrough, and they think you're some kind of healing genius. And they need to know that what you're telling me right now, Dawson, you're telling me you were clueless when the client sat down there. You need to tell everyone that. So I do. Usually in the workshops I say, now that looked like a beautiful session to you, but I got to tell you, when that person sat down with me at first and told me their story, I did not know where this would go or how they could heal. Maybe I had some private thoughts. I've had these private thoughts often, that this issue is too big. The client can't heal. They've been abused too long. The issue is too old, it's too big, whatever it might be. Now, I never tell a client that. I never share those doubts I have, but I think them. I have those thoughts. So Christine, my wonderful wife, just says to share that with people because they need to know that it's not you. It's not you, Dawson, personally. It's the method. Now, it might look like magic when I'm using it. You might see these cases and say, that's just a stunning breakthrough. This guy must know something. I'm going to tell you I don't. I genuinely am in the question. I believe the person can heal, usually, but I just apply the methods and the person brings the healing to themselves when we do the methods together. It's the methods that are doing the work. It is not me personally. Now, one fun place this comes to roost is in our energy psychology certification program. We've had several people who've gone through the program and they watch those videos of mine. They say, oh, I could never do what Dawson does. And then I remember one woman who was actually in a whole different field. She was a musician, and she wanted to make a shift in her career, bring more healing into her music. And so she joined our certification program. And finally, the moment arrived when she had the first client. And she was posting, we have this secret Facebook group, and everyone shares and loves each other and supports each other on this Facebook group. And so she wrote there and said, I have my first client, but I can't do what Dawson does. I don't think this is going to work. So we all encouraged her just to use the tools. And she did. And she emailed back again in the Facebook group after the client. She said, who knew? It worked. I just tapped with him. I did what you said. I just followed all the steps. And the client had a breakthrough. Now she's a very confident practitioner, combining music and tapping and healing in a whole new way. She's doing presentations. She's doing workshops. She's sharing this with many, many, many people. That is possible for you to do too. Trust the method. If you learn these techniques and learn them well, and ours are taught well, our classes are accredited for continuing medical education for doctors, American Medical Association, psychiatrists, psychologists, American Psychological Association, nurses, American Nurses Credentialing Commission. You don't get those accreditations unless you have a solid evidence-based training, and ours is the only training in the world accredited by all the major healing guilds that way, because it is so solid. You learn these methods and you, most of the time, will see those big shifts happening. So just like that practitioner did, being so nervous, not knowing if this would work, but then applying the methods and finding out that they did work, just applying them mechanically at first, and then with mastery, as you gain experience, you'll find you can trust these methods, and they work. You don't know how the person can heal when they sit down with you, but they work through their issues, they have the breakthrough, and you'll find that client after client, just like all those videos up on my YouTube channel, you'll find that client after client, you're able to facilitate those breakthroughs for people, and they no longer suffer. And now you have this whole parade of people coming through your life who were suffering when they came to you and are no longer suffering the same way. It is such a heart-warming thing to do that, and there's no more wonderful or gratifying career. I'd like you to check out my course sampler for Energy Psychology Certification. Come and find out more about these methods. The course sampler is free. Just click on the button below to get your course sampler. Also, don't forget to give me a thumbs up down below and hit the bell to make sure you get notified about other videos. And I'd love to share with you more about the potential of this wonderful healing method and how you can have a great and successful career, either part-time or full-time, supplement your income, do well by doing good. I love this work. It helps people heal, and it can support you in a gratifying and fulfilling life. So thank you so much for listening. Again, give me that thumbs up, hit the notification bell. See you in the next video.